A law professor is reading a government report, a 237-page document commissioned for 439,000 Australian dollars. He stops somewhere around page 40. There's a citation to a colleague, a book she never wrote. He keeps reading, a quote from a federal court judge. He checks it. The judge never said it. Academic papers from the University of Sydney, from Lund University in Sweden. He starts counting. 20 fabricated references in a single published government document. The firm that wrote it admitted to using AI without telling the client. 3 weeks later, a second government contract surfaces. $1.6 million. A different country. Fictional papers. Real researchers cited on work they never produced. So what exactly happened inside that document? And inside every AI system producing content like it right now? Large language models are not knowledge bases. They do not retrieve facts. They predict. Given a sequence of words, the model calculates the most statistically likely word to come next, based on patterns across everything it was ever trained on. It has no mechanism to distinguish what it knows from what it is plausibly extrapolating. When it hits a gap, an obscure legal citation, a paper outside its training data, it does not stop. It fills the gap with the most plausible sounding answer it can generate. Columbia University's Tove Center for Digital Journalism ran a direct test of this. Researchers gave 8 AI tools, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, and 4 others, 200 real quotes from published news articles. Simple task: identify the source. ChatGPT answered incorrectly 153 times out of 200. Out of those 153 wrong answers, it signaled uncertainty just 7 times. 7 times out of 153 errors did it say, "I'm not sure." The other 146 times, it delivered a wrong answer with complete confidence. No hesitation, no qualifier. The fabricated Lund University paper read exactly like a real one. The AI is working exactly as designed, predicting plausible text fluently at speed, with no internal alarm for when plausible and true diverge. In February 2024, Jake Moffat's grandmother died. He went to Air Canada's website and asked the chatbot about bereavement fares. The bot told him he could buy tickets at full price and apply for a retroactive discount within 90 days. He flew. He applied. Air Canada denied it. That policy didn't exist. Moffat sued. He won. In the ruling, tribunal member Christopher C. Rivers addressed Air Canada's defense directly. The airline had argued it could not be held liable for its chatbot's output. Rivers called this a remarkable submission. He wrote that it should be obvious Air Canada is responsible for all information on its website, regardless of whether it comes from a static page or a chatbot. Courts had never confirmed this before. They just did. A company is legally liable for what its AI invents. Stanford's RegLab and HAI studied purpose-built legal AI tools. Not ChatGPT, but Westlaw and LexisNexis. Products sold specifically to lawyers for legal research. The hallucination rate on legal queries between 69 and 88%. On questions about a court's core ruling, the AI was wrong at least 75% of the time. And 83% of legal professionals had already encountered fabricated case law from tools they were paying for. Then there's medicine. A 2025 clinical documentation study examined nearly 13,000 medical AI outputs. Hallucination rate, 1.47%. That sounds manageable until you read the next number. Of those hallucinations, 44% were classified as major, potentially dangerous to patients. It's the same logic as saying 1% of aircraft parts fail, but half of those are wings. A 2025 study put global business losses from AI hallucinations at $67.4 billion in 2024 alone. And 47% of enterprise AI users made at least one major business decision based on hallucinated content, most without ever knowing it. The newest models are not fixing this. OpenAI's own evaluation found that O3 and O4 Mini, its most advanced reasoning models, hallucinated 33% and 48% of the time on person QA benchmarks. The Artificial Analysis AA Omniscience benchmark tested 40 models in November 2025. 36 out of 40 were more likely to give a confident wrong answer than a correct one on difficult questions. The models are getting smarter. The hallucination problem is getting worse. In 1999, NASA lost the Mars Climate Orbiter. $327 million burned up in the Martian atmosphere. One engineering team was using metric, another was using imperial. The navigation data the spacecraft transmitted was precisely formatted, internally consistent, and completely wrong. No one checked. The output looked exactly like correct data. That is what made it fatal. That is what hallucination is. Authoritative sounding output that is structurally correct and factually wrong, delivered with full confidence at production scale, embedded in documents that get published, decisions that get made, and policies that get enforced. The question is not whether your AI hallucinates. Every model does. The question is whether you find out before your client does.